Okay, so I haven't made a video in forever, but it is Friday, June 7th, 3:30 p.m. and I just left a customer who is there for an AC maintenance. It's his second time calling us. He called us originally last year for a Rheem tankless water heater that nobody could fix. And a bunch of people refused to work on it after they saw it, and then he called us, and all I had to do was a tankless flush. But he called for AC maintenance. He's had the systems for 5 years. He's never had AC maintenance done. And as soon as I got to the outdoor units, I felt one was discharging cold ambient temperature air. The system has a microchannel condenser coil. There's 2 visible leaks on it. I confirmed with a refrigerant leak detector and showed the customer, and we're gonna replace that system with a standard Rheem 13 SEER 3-ton condensing unit. Rheem, whatever.
Turn right onto New Highway.
So supply house is 20 minutes away. I'm gonna get that now, and I guess show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I just got the unit. It's heavy.
Turn right
So these
onto
guys,
then turn right onto New Highway.
Revaz Mechanical, they watch us on YouTube, so he was like, "Hey, Pipe Doc, you need a hand," and they helped me get the condenser loaded in the back. So that was nice. They were super nice. They were like, "It pays to be famous." So headed back. I'll be there at 4:05 so that we can get started. It should go very smoothly. I pressurized it with nitrogen and started a pressure test on my S-bands.
At the light, turn
That way
right
it's
onto New Highway.
pressure testing while I'm gone, so we know the indoor coil and the lines that are okay. And then I'm really just gonna have to worry about a couple of brace joints outside after I connect it, but I'm just hoping that there's no other leaks besides that one. When I was speaking with the customer, he was like, "Oh yeah, the guy that put it in comes in every so often because he says it only holds the exact amount of refrigerant that it needs for a season." It's like,
In about
what?
3 miles,
It's not
turn
how it
left onto
works.
State
So,
Route 109 East.
hopefully we get that fixed for him and his system will cool. Last time he saw the thermostat last season, he hasn't turned it on yet, even though it's 81 degrees. At the end of last season, he saw the Nest said it was on for 22 hours, or 22, I don't know if it's 22 hours or 22 days, but it hadn't cooled, so it'll be nice if we fix that. Okay, here's the unit, and those 2 stains are our 2 leaks. But here's our pressure test. So we're at 44 minutes. Minus 0.6. I really didn't let this stabilize after I threw the nitrogen in because I was in a rush to get out. I'm very, very confident that this is a leak-free system. I think that 0.6 is just, it was balancing out. So, get rid of our nitrogen here. Got the other tank too. And nice that there's practically nothing in it, so we don't have to pump down. Just gonna cut it. Let's see, right here, and I'll make new connections because this unit's very tiny, and the unit that's going to be going in its place is 36 by 36, so it's going to come out to here and it's going to be out to here, so it's going to be significantly bigger. So our spot's all cleared out. I'm going to unbox the new unit and get it brought over here. Hopefully it fits right in between the car here. Okay, so yeah, big difference, but I just discussed with the homeowner where we're gonna put it. I was leaning more towards putting it on the edge here, just for serviceability, but we're doing it centered here and almost in line with that pillar there, a little bit out, but that's where we'll be. So I'll have to work on our line connections, come down, come over, come in. And this time they'll have a filter dryer because there's no filter dryer on the old system, which is stupid, but I feel like that happens a lot with like the builder's grade equipment. So I'm gonna get to making the bends and brazing Only thing with brazing is I ran out of my acetylene in my oxyacetylene rig this morning when I was doing a Bosch. So now I'm gonna have to use a B tank unless I can make the B tank work with the brazing rig. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, so here's what I've got on bends. I'll push it all in a little bit neater once it's brazed in and not loose. Just because of how tight it is here, there really was no way for me to get a good bend in with the 3/4 because I can't do like 145-degree bend like I could do with the liquid line. So I did a street 90 there. I'm sure some people are gonna hate it, but it is what it is. I'm gonna flow nitrogen, get them brazed in, and then we could get to vacuuming. And then while I vacuum, I'm gonna do the maintenance on this unit, which is what I was originally here for, was for maintenance. But yeah, I think it's gonna come out nice. And you could see I tried to use the wet rag, but mine stopped sticking together no matter how much or how little water there is. So I have real wet rag sitting on here, which still does the same job, but now I'm gonna braze it in and we'll see if I could get some of it on video. And unfortunately, like I said, I ran out of the oxyacetylene, so B tank it is. See if I could get these nice and hot with it. I'm sure you could see I'm having a super difficult time, but there's a lot more footage of this that I just cut out because it was like epic fail. I had such a hard time brazing with the B tank. I'm so used to the oxyacetylene, but it was weird. It like just wouldn't seem to get hot enough no matter how long I held the torch on. And I don't know if it was because of the wind or it's just because I stink, but yeah. Once I moved over to the 3/4, it went a lot smoother. I don't know why, but it got nice and hot. Took the braze rod right in, but I did have a leak on the bottom left side of the joint that I just did, which fixing was no issue either. Okay, so that took forever, and they're ugly brazes. I'm really not used to doing it that way, and it felt like the wind was like blowing the torch flames away, but they held pressure, so we're gonna go with our vacuum now. Our gas ballast is open, true blue hoses, micron gauge, and valve cores are removed, so we'll see how long it takes to pull a good vacuum. And my phone died, but we're gonna see how long it takes to vacuum. And before my decay test, we're already pulled pretty low within just a few seconds. So I'm gonna get the iPad over here and ready to do that decay test. And then release the charge into the lines. This system comes factory charged. Let's see. 106 ounces, that's a good amount. So, we shall see what happens. Okay, so I just connected to the micron gauge, and we're pretty low. But I'm just going to, I'm actually gonna let it go longer, but I just wanna make sure that we can pass a decay test. So you see it jumped up and then it goes back down just because you're disturbing those valves, but it's going to slowly climb up again. And however many microns it goes up over however many seconds, it'll do a calculation and let you know if you finished, if you passed, so it finished and saved, but I'm gonna let it go longer. Open, and see how low we could pull down. The oil's hasn't been changed in the last few times that I've used it. Usually I change it more, but these hoses I bought at the beginning of the season, I've used them maybe a dozen times so far. I had an older pair, a different style, the same brand, but I kept having to replace gaskets after every few uses, so I haven't replaced gaskets on these at all, and I've used them plenty of times and they're still good. The only thing that's annoying is they're so rigid and then like very tight to get your fingers in, and if this is going the other way, then you can't open and close this blue valve here. And same for these, it's just so rigid that it's actually hard to tighten because it like the brass rubs on itself, but whatever. Pretty low. I'm going to test capacitor contactor on this unit, and I'm just cleaning up a little. This is water, this is not oil, so that'll go away. But I used this LE-Tech refrigerant leak detector to prove the leak was present, and that's where the leak was. Literally turns it on, it powers up for 30 seconds, and boom, pointed there and it picks up the leak immediately. So that was really nice, really handy. Not having to doubt whether or not that was the leak. Maybe it was just staining, but gotta put that away now. Which goes in this LE-Tech case. This is where I keep all of the refrigeration tools. The only annoying thing is I don't know where the slides are to lock the latch, but it's put in there. There we go. And when I put my other tools back, like the swage kit and the bender, it'll hold this close. I don't have to worry about it popping open. So I'll get that in. Okay, so I neatened up the lines, connected my electric, shortened the whip by that much just to make it look nice and neat. And I like to leave extra wiring behind just in case anything were to happen. There's extra there to work with. But I'm gonna get all this stuff wrapped up here, and then we'll check charge, make sure it's cooling okay, running okay, and get paid. Let me see if I can lift the condenser in there. Okay, so I got my gauges hooked up and wrapped everything else up here. Nice and neat. Still gotta put a sticker on it, but now we see how much refrigerant we need to add to get to the proper subcooling. Much quieter than this Ameristar too. So I'll let these stabilize, see what they're at, and we'll charge to get it to the proper subcooling. And I got a little bit sidetracked, but 10 degrees of subcooling, took 1.5 pounds of refrigerant, got our stickers on there, everything's nice and neat, and maybe doing this one next year. Okay, so that went well. Customer was super happy. Looks like, ooh, somebody got hit on a motorcycle. That stinks. Motorcycle on the ground. Oh, I think the motorcycle maybe hit a guy because the bumper's falling off. I don't know, but probably wasn't fun for the motorcycle guy. I am headed home. It went well. Customer's super happy. He was appreciative that I did it today, because it was originally going to be like something next week, but the supply house was 20 minutes away. So I called Mike and asked, and I was like, oh, you know, why don't I just do it today? He was like, you want to do it today? Do it today. So it's 7:30 p.m. now. Only 15 minutes away from my house, so not too bad. And it's out of the way. But it stunk using the B tank to braze. I'm debating whether or not I'll put the video footage of me trying to braze, because it was bad. I think my B tank's also running low, but my gauge doesn't work, so I have to fill up 2 nitrogens, my B tank, my whatever tank for the oxygen acetylene. I need a bunch of stuff. PVC glue, PVC fittings. I've been using a lot between the installs that we've been doing. We've been super busy with work, so we did, I don't know, like 3 installs this week, and service calls. We did a pool heater earlier in the week. I think I'm going to be doing a pool heater next week. So it's been nuts. But hopefully you enjoyed watching the video. Like the video if you liked it. Comment any advice or criticisms or feedback, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.